This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions in this video and comments on this podcast do not reflect or represent the views and opinions on this podcast platform.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Well, it's Taurus season. I got my horns out. Yes. So let me go ahead and thank everybody for the birthday wishes, all the blessings that people wish me. Thank you all. God bless you all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you to my Still a Man podcast panel for showing me some love. I appreciate it. And again, as I stated last week, everyone has a birthday coming up, and everyone does, or if it has already passed, get me your birthday so we can put it on the calendar and we can get you acknowledged on your day. So again, before we get started, everybody mute your televisions and any other background noises so that we can have a smooth discussion without any interruptions or disruptions. All right, so again, the topic is, you think you know me. All right, I read something just recently that in life, you are, I guess, presented with three different versions of people as you travel down that highway of life. Let's put it that way. So you encounter people when they're younger, you encounter them when they're like maturing, and then you encounter them as they are like elderly. So I guess past, present, and future. And each version of said self is different. So the one constant factor is there's always one or more individual or group that feels like that they know you. And tonight, we're going to find out how well you know yourself. And you're going to maybe, at the end of this, be able to refute the findings of others. But we shall see. Now, I sent out a link to a survey to tell what type of person you are. Did anybody get that link? And more importantly, did anyone take the survey?
Say that again, please.
I took the pleasure and the initiative of sending out a link that had a survey to tell you what type of person you are. Did anyone utilize the survey?
I didn't see the survey.
Sorry, I must have missed that, big dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need no damn survey telling me who the hell I am. I don't need no damn questions. I know who the hell I am.
Okay, I knew you was gonna say that. So just because of that, we're gonna start with you. All right, let's get it started. Ladies, hold tight. I'm gonna try to go around the board. I think I'm gonna go male, female, and do it like that. All right, let's do it. All right, Timmy, get ready. Everybody else, make sure you wait. All right. So the question is, question number one, should you ever allow any race, religion, gender, or establishment decide or determine your self-worth? All right, Timmy.
Hell no. That's why I don't go to no damn church. Cause they're lying ass motherfuckers in there.
Patsy, same question.
No, because overall, I know myself better than they do.
Okay. Gregory.
We all would like to say no, right? But they can do what they want to beat you down, like the donkey from Shrek. But like the donkey from Shrek, they can't take away your dignity.
Itima.
Honestly, I do what I want, but I also do it under the conscience of because I'm a God fearing woman, so I do care what God thinks about me. So when I make moves, but I always keep in mind that I want to please God, not nobody else, but God.
Okay. Robert.
Hit me with that question again, please, so I can answer it.
Should you ever allow any race, religion, gender, or establishment to decide or determine your self-worth?
No. How would someone know what my worth is? They don't know my wants, needs, nothing unless I share that with them. And because I don't discuss a lot of my personal with a lot of people, I don't expect them to know what I really want or need or my self worth. So no, they can't tell me anything about it or what to do or say. Sorry about my dogs.
Okay. All right, Duchess, welcome back. Let's get your perspective.
Absolutely never. No one can tell me what my self worth is. Not then, and definitely not now.
Okay. All right, I hear a faint uh, sound in the background. I believe it's someone's television. So again, if you could mute that, I'd appreciate it. All right, Sean, question number one. Should you ever allow any religion, race, gender, or establishment to decide or determine your self-worth?
Absolutely not. That's why it's called self worth. You know, you know, like the panel said, no one can determine what your self worth is. You have to be confident in who you are because if you don't value yourself, who else will?
Okay. All right. We're going to go to question number two. All right. I'm going to swing back over to Itzma. Itzma, turn your mic on. Question number two. Is it possible to be liked or disliked by others upon first meeting them?
Yes, it's possible. Because a lot of people just be like, they're quick to judge people and to quick quick to say, I don't like her. Or I don't like her. So yeah.
Huh? Timmy?
Yeah, I mostly um, you know, talk with the person and see where they head at. Most of the time, their action is gonna determine how I perceive them. Now, my personal perception of them doesn't hold weight to them, but to me, it does. And I usually text people that I feel they have an aura about them, the way they speak, the way they carry themselves. That speaks volume to me. So I usually pick up on aura and how they speak and how they present themselves. That's gonna spell out their whole character in the way they are as a person, the way they think as a person.
Okay, we are going to go to Kiana.
Go ahead.
So the question is, question number 2. Is it possible to be liked or disliked by others upon first meeting them?
Absolutely. People don't even got to see you to act like they don't like you or know you. Yes.
Okay. Robert?
You want to know if it's possible to dislike someone the first time you meet them?
Yep. For both you and them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the chance you take when you're meeting someone for the first time. You might not like the way they carry themselves. You might not like the way they smell. You might not like a lot of things. They might not like things about you, so it's possible.
Patsy?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like Robert said, you might not like the first impressions of them, or just the opposite, you might like the first impressions, the way they present themselves, the way they speak, the way they smell. Sometimes it's just like you kind of have an intuition about the person, be like, but you're not quite sure what the vibe is about them, but there's something off about that person. But until you kind of figure that out and you get to know them a little bit better, and you're like, hmm. But yeah, definitely.
Sean?
Absolutely. Excuse me. Um, I'm a firm believer in, you only have one time. You only have one time to make a good impression. And, you know, you fumble that. There's no, there's no recovering as far as I'm concerned.
Gregory?
Absolutely. First impressions are everything. Can't judge a book by its cover, but the cover of the book is gonna determine if I want to read into it. And if I'm feeling like I'm iffy, I'll probably read the introduction or something. So that'll be me sitting around you trying to figure something out before I come to my decision.
Okay, that was a good segue to question number 3. According to Proverbs, you should never judge a book by its cover. How often are you scrutinized by others? Gregory?
You're asking me how often am I scrutinized by others?
Yes, I am.
I think it depends on the topic. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Nobody has all the answers.
Okay. Itima?
Yeah. What was that question again, please?
According to Proverbs, you can't judge a book by its cover. How often are you scrutinized by others?
I don't know. Probably all the time. I ain't paying attention. No, I'm just living my life. Like it is what it is. People got that's what people do. They talk. You can't stop them. Let them talk.
Robert?
I'm gonna agree with Itima probably all the time, but do I care? No, I can care less because I pretty much um I'm kind of hard on myself and people, so I say some things about people and myself. So yeah, yeah, I don't pay it no mind.
Timmy?
Yeah, for me, I know who I am, so what the hell I give a shit about what somebody say about me? They can talk all they want. They can talk to their blue. I'm gonna still be me. I don't care whether they like how I speak or how I walk, where I talk. Yeah, I don't care. That's me. Now you gonna get to learn to like me.
Patsy?
Probably quite often, but like most of the panel, I don't give a hoot if you're gonna talk about me. It's like judge me if you want, but like me if you want to. My true friends know who I am, and they're not gonna really go around talking badly about me for no good reason. If we have an argument, I hope we work it out. But if you really don't know me as a person and you're truly, truly not willing to be my friend, or at least get to know me to be on that friendship level, um, you can kick rocks.
Okay. Sean, according to Proverbs, you can't judge a book by its cover. How often are you scrutinized by others?
Um, I don't know the honest answer of how often I'm scrutinized by others, but because of the position that I hold in my job, my church, and within my family, I try to move a certain way that I don't give them anything negative to scrutinize me by. But if they do, so be it. But I try not to give them any, if not too much, if not any, negative information to scrutinize me by.
Duchess, same question.
I mean, I can't really say how many times. I don't know what goes through people's minds, but again, I don't care. Scrutinize away.
I'm going to answer this question. So I think I live my life like an open book. I mean, what you see is what you get. Um, how often am I scrutinized by others? I think quite often. I mean, someone's always watching, someone's always judging you. And at times it might seem like you live your life under a microscope. Because people just be looking for reasons to pick you apart. It don't matter who you are. Some people are just blatant about it, and they want to tell you right to your face what they think about you, and then they get mad when they get punched in the face. Well, I won't even say they get mad, they get shocked, like they're surprised when they get smacked or something, because they say every action has a reaction. And sometimes words can bring about a reaction that is gonna hurt. They say words hurt. I guess it's proven when you get punched in the mouth for speaking out loud what you're thinking in your head. So that's my perspective on that. And let's go to I kind of sound like Kiana saying that one. But we're gonna go to number 4. Uh, let's see. Number 4. Trust the old notes up. Number 4. Question number 4. Is it healthy to seek the validation of both friends and family? I'll say it again. Is it healthy to seek validation from both friends and family? Duchess, we're going to go to you first. What do you say?
No, it's not healthy, but I don't know these people. I don't know who does that. I don't. So I can't answer it. It's not healthy to look for other people to validate you. It's crazy. Maybe young people do it. And people who don't know about themselves or need people to guide them along the way, not self-assured. That doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. We're going to go to Patsy next.
At this age, no. Maybe when you're a kid and you're trying to figure out like something right, wrong, whatever. But even as a teenager, I was like, whatever, because my mother already instilled the type of person that me and my siblings should be and how we should act. So validation from your closest when at a young age, yeah. But as you get older, that validation, self validation is the best one, especially where you learned how to do and achieve and have that self confidence. Once that's established and that's your bottom line, then you don't really need this. So you can value other people's opinions about you that are trustworthy in your circle. But as far as validation, no.
Huh? All right, Itima, it's on you, beloved. Let's get your perspective.
No, it's not. It's not at all. I don't think it's healthy. Because everybody's not gonna value you, you know. So it's always, it's best to know your own value.
Huh? Robert?
So funny. I started smiling. She almost touched exactly what I was gonna say. Everyone, you need self validation. That's definitely what you need. Looking towards other people to validate something for you, you might just disappoint yourself even more because everyone's not out to have your best interests at heart. They're they're selfish and they don't like to see other people rise up. So self validation is a must, and anything that they validate that is from a good heart, that's extra.
Okay, well said, well said. Timmy?
Yeah, I don't need no one to validate me.
Gregory?
I think you should seek validation from the Most High and then yourself, and then that work will show on the outside. Because confidence is contagious. Otherwise, you're just having like a herd mentality.
Okay. Sean?
In my personal opinion, I don't think it is because when you do that, you're going to constantly be living your life based off of what your friends and family think of you, what they think you
Mm,
should be doing, and
mm,
how you should be doing it. And
mm,
so you'll never truly learn yourself, or you'll never let yourself come to the surface because you're too busy looking for validation or people pleasing and never being
mm,
satisfied for yourself.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Great,
Okay.
great, great.
I'm gonna
Beautiful
go
put.
ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that. I'm gonna give you the sort of something that I experience, something that I witness, and it speaks volumes about that question. So I once knew an individual that sought the validation, sought validation from his parents, or should I say that his parents, and he never got it. Not in the form of praise, well wishes, good job, niceties, and things of that nation. That nature. He never got it. So this individual, in fact, died, never realizing that he wasn't going to get that from these individuals because either they didn't think enough of themselves or him to give him that level of acknowledgement that he was seeking. So it was just sad to witness. And I knew while watching him, it was like a cancer. It was something that was eating him up inside. But there was no way to let's say redirect him, uh place him on a better course in life. There was no, he wasn't open to any uh wisdom that you might be able to impart, whereas that subject was concerned. All he knew is that he wanted to be acknowledged by his parents, and he wasn't going to stop until he got it. And unfortunately, he died before ever really receiving it, and it was sad. So let's go on to the next one, and that's a good segue into what's number five. All right, Itamar, turn your mic on. We're gonna come to you first. All right, question number five. How important is it to break free of those that belittle your input and undervalue your accomplishments? All right, we're gonna go to Patsy.
Um, I think it's very important to get rid of those that belittle you and don't truly value you, because they're always going to do the same, and then you end up feeling some kind of way about yourself.
Robert
You
Brewington has
know,
left the
and
meeting.
it's not
Robert
a good
Brewington has joined the meeting.
just gotta get rid of those haters that belittle you and um bring you down. and keep around the people that are uplifting towards you.
Huh? Let's go to Kiana.
Yes.
How important is it to break free of those that belittle you and undervalue both your input and accomplishments?
Very important. You should have negative people around you who don't see your good. That's a waste of your time and energy and spirit. No, thank you.
Um, let's go to the guys next. Timmy, how important is it to break free of those that belittle you and undervalue both your input and accomplishments?
Break free from what? What are you breaking free from? That was high school. I mean, not even high school. That was elementary school days. Those days are gone. By the time I got to the middle school, it wasn't none of that, you know. But again, why do I care about what somebody thinks?
Okay. Gregory, question number 5. How important is it to break free of those that belittle you and undervalue both your input and your accomplishments?
I would think that it's very important because it's just gonna break you down as a person, anyways. What are you gonna be? What left are you gonna have to give?
Okay. Robert, same question.
I'm gonna say it's it's kind of important because I thrive off of their ignorance. I thrive off of them saying it can't be done, I shouldn't do it, or they're not gonna be able to help. So it doesn't, it's kind of important to me, and then it really isn't.
Sean, same question.
I think it's very important because if, again, if you keep depending on others, where is your self worth? And
Mm-hmm.
if they're definitely downgrading you or belittling you, like that's a form of mental abuse. And you definitely have to get away from that, or you're going to be a stuck individual.
I'm gonna answer this one too. Um, I think it's very important to break free of those that will try to belittle you, those try to diminish your accomplishments and try to stifle your voice, try to silence you if they can. Those that choose not to acknowledge your growth that you've made in life. Um, those individuals sometimes they do a lot of projecting and transference. So that could be very detrimental to your development. And yeah, you have to break free of those individuals like as soon as possible. All right, Itima, you ready?
Yeah.
How important is it to break free of those that belittle you and undervalue both your input and your accomplishments?
It's extremely important to break away from them. There's no reason to be around those type of people. They don't want any type of good for you. So what is the point of keeping them around? They're gonna try to drag you down to where they're at. They don't want to see you good. So what's the point? Never allow people that don't want to see you in a good space around you. Do not ever do that. Like, be by yourself, be a loner before you are around somebody that's no good for you.
Mm.
Red flags always. There's always red flags.
I just want to say real quick, there's this saying in Spanish, or Spanish people, we say, ojos que no ven, corazón que no siente, which means eyes that don't see, hearts that don't feel, meaning like if you don't know about it, you're not gonna you won't feel about it. You won't even know about it. So what's the point? You get what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to keep nobody around you that you don't need around you. That's point blank period.
Like it. Seems like in every culture, every language, there is some wisdom of how some coping skills, some discipline strategies, how to deal with these individuals. And I like it because I think that it's very, very important to implement those skills into your mindset, everything, so you can deal with these individuals. Um, at this time, I'm going to ask for the Duchess, you with us? Kiana?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you a little quick task because I know you always tell me the dictionary doesn't work like that. So I'm going to ask you, and I'm gonna ask you as well, Sean. Kiana, can you look up the definition for social butterfly and social chameleon? And Sean, can you look up the definition for social zebra?
Mm.
Just wait, there's a method to my madness. So as soon as you got it, Kiana, let us know. And Sean, if you get yours before finds hers, let me know. Or let us know.
All right. Um, okay, and social psychologically, social zebra is a term used to describe individuals who are relatively consistent in their social behavior regardless of the situation. They are not as adept at adapting their personality or behavior to fit in with a group, unlike a social chameleon who changes their persona to blend in.
So, a social butterfly is a slang term for a person who is highly sociable and enjoys engaging in social activities like parties, gathering, often
Mm-hmm.
moving easily between different groups of people.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
now that we got the formal definitions, you got the terminology. Let's go ahead and ask the questions, present the question. All right, everybody turn your mic on. We're gonna go to the ladies first. Kiana, since you already there, let's go with you first. Which do you consider yourself to be? A social butterfly, a social chameleon, or a social zebra?
Um, I'm none of the above. I mean, it depends on who the crowd is. I'm more so I
Million?
might have to be I'm more to myself until I get to know people. I mean, I'm cordial or whatever, but I mean, to say I'm a social butterfly in certain settings, that wouldn't be me. And if I don't like you, I won't talk to you. So I,
Mm.
I'm not being social. I don't have time for the fake pleasantries. I'm not wasting my time or energy. I won't do it.
Okay. Patsy?
Um, I guess I'm more the zebra than I am anything else. Because I'm no matter where I'm at, I'm not gonna change who I am. And as far as like a social butterfly, I, I'm a I'm only that if I know the group of people that I'm around or I want to be around. That's when I get to be a social butterfly. Otherwise, and plus I don't get out in a lot of social settings. So therefore, I'm more the zebra. I don't change. A loner. I kind of stick to myself unless it's people I know. It's kind of like coming on here. It's like I know you guys. I'm not, and I'll be social here, and and this is a really good situation where we're talking and we value each other's opinions, and and there's really not any disrespect, and that's the settings, the kind of setting that I like to be in.
Okay. Timmy, you the social butterfly or the social chameleon or the social zebra?
I ain't even none of them. I ain't none of the above. Like Kiana said.
Let's go to Robert.
Yeah, in the time that I'm living in now, I'm more the zebra, but I can also be the chameleon because if I want, I know how to adapt to the environment around me. But majority of the time, I'm that zebra sitting there to myself where I like it calm, disease free, stress free, a lot of stuff, that I stay content just being to myself. So yeah, majority of the time zebra, and I definitely can flip flop into the chameleon because I know how to adapt if I want to.
Oh, the chameleon don't adapt. He only adapts to the
Did I
environment
miss
because
anything?
he's prey.
Yes.
That's why the chameleon adapts and changes different colors. Is because he's prey. He's easy prey.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about in the social
Yes.
setting. All right. Let me give Itzema. Itzema, if you had to choose one of these, let's say social types, would you say you are a social butterfly? You like to spread your wings in any environment, and you're just you're good. Or are you the social chameleon that can blend into any type of setting? Or are you the social zebra that basically never changes its stripes? You're the same way in any setting.
Um, it, I couldn't. The thing is, I could get along with people. It's not hard for me to get along with people, but I don't get along with everyone. And and I don't front. I'm definitely not a fake person. So I don't. If I if I don't like you, if I don't like the way you express yourself or something like that, whatever, I just won't speak to you, or I won't even. No, I'm not adapting to nothing. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not feeling the vibes or whatever. So I don't know where I will categorize myself because I don't know how to be fake, and I'm not gonna adjust to nothing that's not what it is.
Okay. Let's go to Gregory.
I like to say I'm an introvert that circumstantially becomes an extrovert because I have to, like what I do. I'm a people's person, so I gotta communicate with people. I gotta be able to communicate with different forms of people here and there. So I would say I'm a chameleon, but I'm not a chameleon because I don't really like to be around people like that. Get what I'm saying? And so I would say I'm a zebra too. So it's kind of up in the air. And then at times I'm a social butterfly. I can mix and mingle with people, so I can be all three at times.
Sean, same question. If you had to choose one of these social types, which one would you be? The social butterfly, the social chameleon, or the social zebra?
Um, I would say I'm all three, but I would go with more of the chameleon because I can adapt to any environment that I'm in. Um, yeah, that's that. I do see myself in each of the three categories, but if to sum it all up, because the chameleon actually takes on the traits of both sides, that I will say that's me.
Okay. All right, we are at the halfway point and we are going to go ahead and pay some bills. This episode is sponsored by emporiumplus.org. And in this store, we have a shirt that states, and is also a brand, says adapt or perish. Robert, can you tell the consumers and all the people out there watching and listening, where can they purchase this shirt?
I may not be a social butterfly, possibly a social chameleon, sometimes a social zebra. But what I can tell you, I'm not a social liar. When you want some good products, type in emporiumplus.org, where you will find the latest fashions in all brands. And be forever still a man, you serum, adapt or perish. SOS, support our sisters and adopt or parish ladies first. Some merch in emporiumplus.org. And for you viewers that are watching us, the Still a Man podcast, click the like button, thumbs up. Subscribe if you already haven't. Tell a friend, tell somebody. Subscribe again, damn it, on another keypad or something. But we want to let you know we appreciate you, even if you sneak or whisper viewing us.
And in the words of my sister from another mister, get in line or get left behind. That is a new t-shirt that will be offered real soon in the emporiumplus.org store. So stay tuned. All right, let's go to question number 7. Question 7. All right, we're gonna go to ladies. Turn your mics on. Itama, are you here?
I'm here.
Hear me? Mute your phone. All right, Itama, question number 7. Are family or friends more likely to bastardize you? Meaning, translation, people that's going to demean you, belittle you, debase you, make you feel like you're less than what you are.
Yeah, they usually do. They're the first ones that are quick to do that.
Okay. Let's go to Patsy. Patsy, same question.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, they'll do it quicker than anybody else because they feel like they know you're the best, so they're gonna put you on blast if you're messing up real quick. You know, instead of being loving and be like, you know, why did you do that? I noticed this, and this, blah blah blah. But don't, yeah, they do it more of a judgy and blasty movement, but it should be in love and take you aside, you know?
Duchess, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, same question. Are family, friends, or strangers more likely to bastardize you?
Yeah, they're the first to try to make sure you're humble.
So are we referring to family, friends, or strangers?
Well, family. Then maybe some friends, but family will be the first. Strangers, they don't even know you, so no. I wish.
All right, so we are going to go to Robert next. Robert, are family, friends, or strangers more likely to bastardize you?
I would say family. You said with family, friends, or
Strangers.
because the service is breaking up.
Mm-hmm. So what's your choice? All right, we're gonna go to Gregory.
Um, the truth is, the world has bastardized. That's what you said, bastardized, right?
Has joined the meeting.
I'm gonna say it again for you. Question number 7. Are family, friends, or strangers more likely to bastardize you?
The world actually bastardizes you, and they're the ones that's giving you this narrative of you can't trust anybody. It's a world narrative. It's not like you just developed it. Something that they're putting into your head.
Yeah.
Robert Brewington has left the meeting.
Sean, same question.
I think it's more of the three choices was family, friend,
Or
and
stranger.
a stranger. It's more of stranger. I mean, I would go with Gregory to that far of an extent because I don't think the family and friends. I mean, if you got friends and family like that, who needs enemies? That's gonna like
You
really,
Mm-hmm.
heard?
really criticize you and value you like that to try to make you feel less than. Yeah, I think it's outsiders, strangers first.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Robert Brewington has joined the meeting.
I don't surround myself with those type of people.
Okay. All right, ladies, turn your mic back on. Um, here's a good one. All right. Ichima, you with us?
What's that?
Okay. Question 8. Do you think that you are better than those around you, or do those around you think that they are better than you?
Now, why would I would think that? Or why would they think that?
All right. Patsy?
Um, the people that I choose to keep company with, neither I or them think that we're better than the other. Um, but people that are not in my immediate circle, I would. There's been a couple of people that actually question me whether or not I feel like I'm better than them, and it was a repeated question from these two specific people. So yeah, okay, since you repeated it, okay, yeah, I'm better than you. I might not have answered it that way to them, but in the back of my head, I'm like, if you feel that way, that I'm better than you, of course I'm better than you because you think I'm belittling you and you're belittling me by asking me that question. But no, the and more important people that I'm around, my family, my true friends, I I'm not better than them, and they're not better than me.
Duchess?
Yes.
Uh,
I neither. I don't. I wouldn't be. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be around people who I think that I'm better than. I think we're on equal grounds. And anyone who would ask me, do I think that I'm better than them? They already know the answer. Yes, I am. So there's your answer. You thought it. I told you.
yeah, I told you this once, told you twice, I told you 7 times. That's why you my mother sucker. Robert, same question.
He's on mute. Oh no, he ain't.
Uh, Timmy, go ahead and have a shot at it. Do you think you're better than those around you, or do those around you think that they are better than you?
I don't think I'm better than nobody. And anybody that's around me think they better than me, I'll pull their card real quick.
Yeah. Gregory?
Oh, if anybody is around that feels that type of way, I'm gonna think you have a mental disability or a superiority complex because we're not gonna be hanging around each other if you feel like you're up here and I'm down there. You might as well go hang with some people that you feel like's on your level. The fuck out of here.
Sean?
Um, yeah, I've been arrogant a day or two in my life, but no. Do I think I'm better than people? No. But do I think people are slightly stupid? Yeah, I do.
Hmm. Robbie, I'm gonna give you a chance to answer that before I go ahead and tackle it. Okay, I'm gonna answer it. Do I think I'm better than those around me, or do those around me think that they are better than me? Uh, yes. It depends on the circumstances, and it depends on the individuals we're talking about, or who I'm dealing with, or who are talking about me. I think in life, that question is presented because there are those around you that have witnessed your growth, your transition, and they're sometimes they can be threatened by it, or they perceive it as a challenge because they have not yet risen to the level where they want to be in life. So I think that is the reason why they might present that question, or even make a statement and say, "You think you're better than me?" And they have this wrestler right now, MJF, that says, "I'm better than you, and you know it." And I'm gonna add on to that. I'm better than you and you know it because your reaction shows it. Um Now we're gonna move on to the next one. All right, ladies, turn your mic on. Eaton, I'm gonna come to you first, then I'm gonna go to Patsy, and then I'm gonna go to Kiana. Kiana,
Hmm?
you off, excuse me. I meant to say Itama. Itama,
Huh?
In life, you often hear this comment made when people say, I know you better than I know myself. Upon hearing that, is that an insult or a compliment?
Yeah, it's the person may not mean no harm, but it's not it's basically an insult because you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Um, Based upon experience, I've known people for X like years, and new things keep coming up. You know what I'm saying? So you really don't know a person, officially know a person. When people say that, they can't really say that about people.
Patsy?
It's more an insult than a compliment because if you feel like you know me better than yourself, you don't know God and you don't have God in your life to say that you know yourself less than you know me. You're not God, you don't know my heart, you don't know my spirit. So therefore you do not know me as a whole person. That's my opinion.
Duchess?
Yes.
Um, do you think this is an insult or a compliment? I know you better than I know myself.
I mean, I think it's a compliment. I feel like the only people who would say that to you would be your parents, maybe your siblings, and your spouse or person you're in a relationship with. And I think if you've been together for a long enough period, thank you, you kind of do know each other. So I don't feel like that's an insult. I say that I feel that about my son. So I don't feel like it's an insult.
All right, let's get the men's perspective. Gregory, I know you better than I know myself. Is that a compliment or an insult?
Um, I think depending on the person that it's coming from, it could be a compliment or it can be very sad. You know me more than you know yourself. Goddamn, go take a look in the mirror and figure that shit out.
Okay. Robert, all right, Timmy. I know you better than I know myself. Is that a compliment or an insult?
How is that possible unless it's a loved one? And like Kiana said, your spouse.
Okay. Sean,
Sorry about that. I'm with Gregory and Timmy on this one. That just sounds crazy to me. Like you know me better than you know yourself. That's weird. I've never heard that before. That's crazy to me. I don't have anything other than that to say about it.
um, I'm gonna go ahead and answer this question too. Um, I know you better than I know myself. I'm gonna agree with the panel to an extent. Um, it depends on who it's coming from. Um, if it's my mate, well, that means you're paying attention to me, and you should be. You should be because I am a reflection of you, and you are a reflection of me. You are an extension of me, I'm an extension of you. So you should know all there is to know about me, and you should continue to learn more about me, and vice versa. Um, if it's coming from my parent or someone like that, that's more. I've heard that as in the form of they're chastising me, reprimanding me, correcting me about something. I feel like they gotta remind me of my role, whereas they would say, put me in my place. Um, but if you're a stranger, you're telling me that if you are a colleague, a work colleague, an acquaintance at work and stuff, no, I don't, I don't, I don't acknowledge that. I don't, I don't accept that. You know, I just don't. It just doesn't. It doesn't come off well. It, I'm not receptive of that. I'm just really like I kind of well, there is no kind of. I tune out when when stuff like that is said by strangers. I'm just yeah, I'm not receptive to that. All right, we are going to go to question. I believe it is 10. Robert, before we go on, I'm gonna give you one more chance to answer that question.
He's having difficulty.
We're going to move on. Ladies, turn your mic on. This is a good one. This is a good one. All right. Itima, are you with us?
I am.
Okay. Question number 9. Are you haunted by your past failures because the people around you have a need to remind you of who you used to be despite your accomplishments in life?
No, because once I was born again, right? I let go of a few things in my life, and so all of that was in my past. Therefore, if it's in my past, that's where it's gonna stay. It shouldn't come back up to remind me for nothing. You get what I'm saying? So
Patsy, same question.
No, because I've learned from my mistakes. I might think about like my mistakes, but that doesn't just because you think of it doesn't mean that you're haunted by it. Because those past mistakes you can testify to someone who's going through a similar situation that you made through those mistakes so they can learn on how to deal with it through how you came about getting past those mistakes, if that makes sense. So I'm not haunted by it. I could just use it to help someone else out through the to get through that same mistake that I made. Yeah.
Okay. Duchess, it's on you.
Can you repeat the question? I heard it, but I just want to make sure I'm answering it correctly.
Are you haunted by your past failures because the people around you have a need to
Okay, you can
remind
stop. No, I don't. I'm not haunted by anything. And if anybody was to ever throw something in my face, they no longer would have the privilege of being around me to throw it in my face. I'm
Mm.
very selective of who I allow around me. So if you're not coming from a good place or you don't have my good intentions in mind, then we don't have anything to be connected for. We were former friends. I wouldn't even say that we were former associates. We're family, but we don't roll in the same section. So there's no need for you to be around me.
Okay, well said, well said. Timmy, same question.
Now, one thing I've always said, I never regretted things that I've done because those was chapters in life. So it's almost like your life is a book. You go through different stages or chapters in your life and trials and tribulations and stuff like that. And the thing that you can you only way you can try to help someone else if you have come to terms and you know you learn from, like Patrick said, your mistakes and you grew from them where you don't make those same mistakes and you elevate yourself to not make those same mistakes.
Huh? Gregory, same question.
Give me the question again, big dog.
Are you haunted by your past failures because people around you have a need to remind you of who you used to be despite your life's accomplishments?
Um, Nobody should ever be ashamed of anything they ever did because it makes you who you are. It builds your character. So if somebody wants to dwell on something that you did in the past and you're moving past that and you're building, don't ever feel bad about it.
Huh? Like it, like it. You guys dropping jewels, knowledge. Sean, same question.
Um, no one can ever make me feel bad or guilty about my past failures, especially if I'm moving forward and succeeding. Um, One of the main reasons why no one can hold me and, to that and make me feel guilty because no one holds that kind of power or position in my life like that.
Okay. Um, okay. We are going to go to question number 11. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the last question. All right. But before we go to question number 11, let me answer question number 10. I feel moved to do so. The spirit is moving me, so I'm gonna have to move in that direction. All right. Um, am I haunted by my past failures because people around me have a need to remind me of who I used to be despite my accomplishments in life? So this is what I would say to this. My past does not define me because our God has freed me of the shackles and chains that once bind me, and I now have the strength to break through any walls that try to confine me. And if you like that little slogan, that little affirmation, you can purchase that from emporiumplus.org because that too is on a t-shirt. All right, so we are going to move on to number 11. Let's everybody turn your mics on. But I want you to let people answer the question and let them get it out and no interruptions. Because I want them to make sure this is said and I want to make sure it's heard. Patsy, we're gonna go to you first. Uh, are you content with the evolution of self?
Yes, I am, and I'm very proud of who I am as a person right now. And I'm very much a loving person towards myself so I could love others.
Okay. Timmy, are you content with the evolution of self, who you have become?
Uh, for me, that ain't, it wasn't nothing from the time that I would say 6 years old when I was independent, going to Goodwill Fresh Air Camp by myself. I was the only one there for 19 days. So for me, I found that early being there, away from home and considered that I was the first one to go there and stay for that amount of time. Then when y'all came, they had shortened it to 2 weeks. So, I, I was privileged to experience that. And so for me, that played a big part in the growing and you know reevaluating things because when you able to you know get out the city, and even if it's a week or 2 or 3 or a month, when you get away from your environment and do something other which you've been brought up in, and then you come back from experiencing things that you never experienced before, yeah, you become, feel like, yeah, I like both things, and both of them coincide with each other because the 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 skills and the know-how that you learn from both things can help you in both situations, your life in the ghetto, and your life and out there in the wilderness. So for me, it was just like it was an experience that I felt like not many people would have gotten that chance, and those who experienced, they took a great experience from it.
Okay. But in 15 seconds or less, are you happy with the man that you currently are?
Of course, I can't nobody say different.
Okay.
I don't
Thank
give
you.
a fuck if they did.
Thank you for sharing. Gregory, same question. Are you content with the evolution of self?
Yes, because I love myself. And the best part about it is I'm still evolving. You're never too old or too young to keep learning. Everything's a lesson.
Okay. Mr. Brimage, you ready?
I'm gonna try to make it relate. Um, let's see. I can tell you that I am satisfied with myself, the change from what I used to be in the past. But like everything in life, I said this earlier to my brother, but I'm gonna try to make it relate to this. You have $1 bill or $100 bill. You have no other choice but in life to make change out of those bills. So if it's easy for you to spend and make change out of those bills, why can't you look at it as the same as if it was your life? You got to change one day. You got to make change.
Say less. Say less. Itzma, you ready?
Yeah.
Same question. Are you content with the evolution of self? Are you happy with the woman that you become?
Yes, I am. And thanking God every step of the way. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. And there's still more to come.
Okay, thank you. Sean, same question.
Yes, sir. I am happy. I'm happy now because I'm happy of the man, the father, the brother, and the son, and the child of God that I am today. It was a journey, and it's still a journey. I'm still getting better. But where I stand today, I'm way better today than I was 10 years ago.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Duchess, what do you say?
Am I happy of the person I am today? Yes. It took, it's growth along the way. I don't feel like I'm completely grown. I have ways to go, but overall, yes. I was saying to someone today, I'm definitely not the person I was 10, 20 years ago. So I'm definitely happy about that.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me answer that question. So I heard this said, like God positions your steps in life, right? So again, like Sean said, it's a journey. And I've said this before, you meet a lot of people along the way. Um, and some people may or may not travel the distance with you. You might start out with them, but you might not get to the next point with them. So, as I stated earlier, they say that they see three versions of you in life: your past, your present, and the future you. So, yeah, people around me see my past, you see my present, my future looks good. And I pray that I'm around to get to enjoy the future me. Today's my birthday, and on this birthday, I've learned that I've made a lot of transition in life. I've gone through a lot of things. I've had my trials and tribulations, but in each situation, um, you know, God has shown me grace, favor, and mercy. And through God's favor, again, people will get to see the finished product uh, that I strive to be. And that's who God has called me to be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Still a Man podcast. Thank you for coming. See you guys next week. God bless you.